And welcome back, boys and girls, as we jump into our second match of the night. And I believe this is our final match of the night. It's going to be Sprout versus Izako Boars. And hopefully I'm saying that right because honestly, I'm just a dumb American. So uncultured. Either way, it'll be just me for the match. And the players are just about ready to begin. They just finished the knife round. They'll get their side choice. It's going to be on cash. Cash, as the Australians would say it. And it will be Sprout starting on the CT side. Taking a look at the standings. This is the first game for both teams. Both looking to start their season off with a bit of a bang. Now, this Sprout roster looking a little bit different, and part of that is they're now missing a long-standing member of the team in Natosafix, who has been with that Sprout roster for quite some time. It's a little bit of a shakeup for them. On the flip side, the Boars came in from the Advanced Division after playing through the Mountain Dew League relegation tournament. Bomb sitting back by A. But really, not much has happened. This is a very quiet pistol round. After the clock has ticked down to just about the halfway point, we haven't really seen much of anything. Now the flash is coming out and smokes. Mollies as well. It'll be Fama to get the first one. Speedy is there as well. And Searson even chiming in. This is not looking promising here for the recent move-ups. It's all down to Patty Tech. Patty Tech? I'm just going to call him Patty. Patty Mayonnaise. Patty Mayonnaise gunned down by Dennis as he pops the door open. The German side starts off with that 1-0. In they go towards B, and the aggression from the CT side results in a few kills. As you can see, Murbit and Searson both close. It does drop a couple of members low as they move in closer. The MP9 from Maddie spraying through the smoke doesn't really result in much except his own demise. And the last player trying to hide, it's not going to work out so well. Sprout off of that 2-0 start, but that is also to be expected due to the recent or somewhat recent. Everyone says recent. We keep saying recent, but we don't really think it's not really that recent that those economic changes were pushed through. It's been a while now. We've been accustomed to it. A little bit of damage early on from the Molotov. Double nade? No, it's actually a molly and a nade. More nade damage coming in, but not really as much as you'd like to see given how much was committed financially from Sprout. Oh, Speedy, excuse me. Speedy spots one coming through the smoke. Does only a little bit of damage. He caught him as his foot came through. Dennis able to get out in front of that smoke and find the kill. But it's traded out quickly by Narod. It'll be Mirbit and Searson. 2-on-2. As they try to move in closer, that smoke down on site's making it a little bit difficult to move. Mirbit's going to get spotted. I don't think he actually realized he saw the second target. As they boost up over the box, does Mirbit go up over the top? Yes, he does, but Maddie is there to greet him. 2-1 as the Polish side picks up their first round. First shot's going to connect here as the op presence from the T side spots Dennis. Smoke's going to go down inside Z as well. Seeing a little bit of beep boop on my side. Hopefully that'll go away, the robotiness. Molly's going to go in towards site. They don't anticipate the boost. Favin, though, he has no help from the rest of his team. It's a little bit of a difficult position to be put in. Now, Speedy's going to move in. The UMP does run low on ammo. But it's great damage, all things considered, with the UMP. Oh, the CZ from Mir. He's able to sneak up on him. Mirbits should be able to catch this player in sight towards default, completely off guard, if only he were to push in further. He decides to stop behind the big box, and that'll give the Polish side time to react. I don't think they're going to anticipate him already being here, so the bomb should get planted momentarily. There's the kill, and now it's a one-on-one. Op versus AK. He knows this op was over here, but it doesn't matter. Neeks hits the kill. It's 2-2. But a really brutal round for the Polish side. That one's not going to feel good. There's the op yet again in mid. Neeks connects onto Searson. And the B site, yeah, it's basically free for the taking. Bomb's going to be planted. It's just USPs coming out from Sprout. There really isn't much that they can do about this one. It's an easy round for the Polish side. Get into position. Speedy's actually sticking it. Yeah, not going to happen. A little bit of damage dealt early on to Dennis through the smoke. Teshik's going to catch him in mid. He tries to go through the vents, gets spotted by Mirbit, who's sitting inside of the checkers, but he is dead to rights. Sprout right now being decimated by the Polish side, who's picked up after being able to buy in that third round. Dennis and Favin, both on Augs, likely trying to save, but there's a looming threat over towards this A site as the bomb now gets planted over on B. Two remaining players really just trying to hang on to the guns. Finally, Favin does pick up the kill on that player who is lurking over towards the A site. Dennis and Favin will be able to keep their guns as pretty much everyone from the Polish side is over towards the B site. But it will be the round nonetheless that is theirs for the taking. 4-2. Sprout has not been able to put up a round since the pistol and the round that followed, and the money is kind of awkward here. They can gun juggle if they so choose. But it looks like they're just going to toss the op over and pistol armor. Speedy, the only one that decides not to buy armor. They pick up a little bit of utility as well. Searson gets aggro with that ACC. Goes all the way up in mid. Bobbin taking some damage through that smoke. Nade's going to be right in the lap of Maddie, though. That does great damage, dropping him down to 61 HP against Searson. Really sticking around in mid. Wisely decides to fall back, now knowing that security is decreasing. Mirabit on the B site by himself with the CZ. T-side just sitting back. They know exactly where they've got them in the round. Financially, things are difficult for the CT side. Now, Searson's still in mid. He's still holding this angle with the op towards mid. And this player in door should know that they're in A main. He should be able to hear them. They did shuffle around a bit. Smoke goes in deep, and Speedy's just going to push up on it. And that'll cost him his life. Dennis, in the meantime, did start to sneak back away from the site. He's able to get back by quad box, though, so this puts him in prime position if the push should come through. Nice shots coming in from Searson as the AUG connects. The AUG struggles, but a transfer of recoil is all it takes. It's all up to Maddie on site by himself, but the jumping headshot with the Glock. Able to take down Dennis. It's Mirabit and Searson with 20 seconds left. Maddie's on site, and he's got himself a rifle. He's getting flanked by Mirabit, who's only got an AUG. There's an op in front of him, but a dual op retake isn't exactly the most ideal. Bomb dedicated on the site. No fake plants today. Searson right around the corner. Barrel might show first. There's the kill. The second op was picked up in main. And Mirabit hears him over towards quad box. Again, this is that awkward scenario you're in with that double op on the retake. Doesn't matter. CZ's all he needs. Sprout steal the round away after Dennis and Searson helped shut down that A push. So the gun's going to be tossed around in spawn. And the T side and CT side will both have a strong buy. So this could be a bit of a swing round. The winner of this one will put their opponent in a tight economic position. The only one with really any money to fall back on the CT side is going to be Searson, who's sitting on 39.50. With the reset money, I would put him at 53.50. Speedy just spamming through that door early on. There is one over in that position, and it seems like that's something they do pretty consistently. Is they put a player towards the squeaky door almost every round as part of their default. Smoke's getting lined up. Here is an A execute is likely to come out. Could be a fake as well. The deep smoke coming in from Izako Boars towards the site. Flashes as well as they get their way out onto the site. Pop flash in. Speedy's back by quad box. His teammate's already dying, though. He's in real trouble if they decide to push around the way they are. And they do. Look at that. It's a clean house sweep. They actually do an end around. So instead of running through the smoke towards quad, they run up to red box and then just loop around the backside of red box. And that puts Mirabit all by himself over on the B bomb site. It's a round for Izako Boars as they again take another one on their T side. And this was a really important round to take because it did upset the economy here for the CT side. So it should be a save in the round that follows, making things 5-3, maybe 6-3 before we see Sprout really buy up again. Sprout. Not off to the strongest start here on their CT side. Again, both teams in their first match on the season, and we do have a pause coming in. Would not surprise me in the least to see it as a tack pause coming in for the Germans. The Germans. Pause does come undone, and it's time to play yet again. The CT side decides to buy, and it's awkward. Wait, they lost a gun. There's an ump in spawn. There you go. Favin finds it. I was going to say, they definitely bought a UMP. So they force up, and we'll see what they're able to do. They do have a head boost going on right now in connector. Dennis peeking out over the top. Can't really find a line of sight towards the man back by the vents. And now Amali's going to come in, and that puts Favin in a really tough spot. Favin's got to run through it. Look at the damage dealt. He went to pull for that smoke, but he knows just how important that smoke might be. Meanwhile, over on the B site, Mirbet has been taken down by Mr. Matty. 1, 2, 3. The numbers are ever so important. Dennis, through the smoke, catches 2 players as Matty jumps into the spray. The timing works out nicely for the CTs, but the site is still lost, and the bomb will be planted momentarily. So it will be a retake, and they do not have kits currently. Flashbangs going out. Almost all utility expended here by the Polish side. All they've got left is flashbangs, and they're throwing them left, right, and center. Another flashbang comes out. Does land directly into his teammate's face. Again, no kit, so this is really difficult for the CT side to try to get back in. They do get a trade over in CT, but now it's down to 1. It's Favin trying to sneak out onto the site. That'll be next with the AWP to gun him down. 6-3. Sprout not able to make the force buy work. So now that it's just pistols coming in from Sprout, it should be yet another round here up on the board. Now with the save, they will have enough money to buy in the next, but it'll be a little bit tight. What, getting 2,400 for this? If I'm not mistaken, yeah. So a couple of guys will have a little bit light on the utility. That early peek in mid results in a dink shot, but no kill. And now the dig is up. They know what's going on. They try to stick a man back in useless room, and the position does prove to be somewhat useless. He's only able to pick up 1 kill, but the bomb's going to be planted on the A site anyway, so it's all water under the bridge. That lone AK will try to do some extra damage as Favin has made his way up towards the white box. Maybe with a boost over the top, he could spot something, but the rest of the team backing off, heading towards mid. He was spotted by a player jiggling back by the quad box. Now, Favin does a little bit of damage with that salvaged AK. And he'll actually find another one. Favin's on a bit of a rampage here with this AK. They got to be careful. They don't want to lose this AWP, but he's so close to the bomb, he might die anyway. No, he actually survives with almost no HP. 16 health for the man on site. So those AKs actually do end up being somewhat useful. Saving those rifles puts a little bit more bang behind the buy. You can see the nades already picked up here by Mirbet, who's one of the players that came in with one of those AKs. Early molly thrown in from the T side to prevent any kind of push. Counter nade coming out does 1 damage. That's pretty interesting financial exchange. $300 for 1 damage, or $250. Favin gets the pop flash into main, but there's nothing there. He has to be careful. He can't peek back towards the door. And now there's bullets coming through from the other side of the wall. Does very limited damage. Only 6 damage dealt. But nonetheless, a tag should have been heard by the AK. Meanwhile, he's now isolated on A. He's the only defender. And they're splitting the push, and they know that he's here. Again, Mirbet on the opposite side of the map. And, man, things on A just are not working out for Sprout. Izako Boars have been able to push into that A site over and over again. Feels like this is maybe the 3rd or 4th time we've seen Mirbet in a situation where he's trying to save due to being the B player. Probably a little bit frustrating. But at the same point in time, the top player right now for Sprout is one of their A defenders in Favin. Mirbit will be able to spot one as he sneaks into a corner with that AWP in the useless room. Pistol drop coming out here as Mirbit's just trying to help push some extra power. He's going to drop one more CZ. That should be for Speedy because Searson's by his own. There you go. Searson goes with the Deagle. It's going to be CZs on the rest and the AWP. Bit of a duel going on over towards B. The two offs. The tango. On one side, you've got Nex with the AWP and Spawn. On the other side, you've got Mirbit, who's playing an advanced position with the offs. Both one playing a game of chicken. It's a matter of who's going to peak first. Is it going to be Sprout? Or is it going to be Izako Boars? And I'm really enjoying just changing between perspectives. It looks like Backup's going to come, and he's going to throw that molly we saw him throw last round. That's going to flush this op out of position. That's awkward. That's when that setup works real nicely. And remember that B defense we were saying maybe was a little bit stronger? Yeah, that B defense doesn't look strong at all at this point. Completely decimated. Speedy, Dennis, Searson, and Favin now trying to get back in with CC75s due to the fact that they had that lone B anchor with the op. And the rest are on pistols. This should be quite difficult. Dennis and Favin with armor to back up the CZs. Next, trying to wallbang there with that AWP, eventually finds a connection shot onto Favin. And you can see the guys from Sprout really just looking for angles. Searson shooting ankles. He wants to find one more if he can. He's actually stayed alive somehow in this corner. Not going to be able to get that AK, though. They guard it with their life. 9-3. And this is not looking pretty, and a pause comes in, rightfully so. Assumably, is that even a word? I'm pretty sure it is. We'll assume it's a pause from Sprout. Sometimes you say a word, and you just go, wait a minute. But it is a word. I just kind of like stumbled for a minute. I'm like, wait a minute, wait a minute. Are you making things up again? And we'll wait for the pause to come undone. Obviously, Sprout needs to figure out what is going on here. Things have not gone their way whatsoever. We've seen Izako Boars go towards that A site. We've seen them now work towards B as well. They've leaned on mid a little bit, but their mid presence has been much weaker than the other sections of the map. You see them pretty much go heavy towards A very early on. They send a guy, kind of a feeler guy, towards the door. He's usually the lead man. He'll listen in for what's going on. They might have one backside A main. They watch the push from mid, but they don't really play into mid. A lot of rounds they play back on B. Still just waiting for the pause, though. Shouldn't be too much longer. Unless they're just not here. Maybe it's a technical pause? If this goes on for too much longer, we will go ahead and just throw it to a quick break just in case. And I think that's maybe what we should do. Why don't we go ahead and bring up some music, bump some tunes while we wait for these teams to come back, because I'm not really sure what's going on. This seems longer than a tactical. This seems more like a technical, and we're not sure how long this could take. We'll be back in just a bit. It feels right, yeah.
can only say that it feels right. It feels right. It feels right. Yeah, I can only say that it feels right.
And we are back as the teams finally decide to get things going. Not sure what the cause of the pause was. I assumed it to be tactical in nature, but now I'm not so sure. Took a little bit longer than we expected. Nade's going to go out towards mid. Does a little bit of damage. Maddie also takes a bit of a tick from that molly. Meanwhile, next, inside A main, drop down to 59 as the nades land at the stairs. That pop flash is so scary when it comes in. The thought, obviously, is that someone is going to peek off of that. Counter molly coming out from the CT side, but there's a smoke down, and it clips it. Searson able to spot out Navrat with that AWP. We've got Favin still in position now. They're trying to boost up on the corner of that smoke. I'm not sure if they can see anything, but I believe Favin was able to hear something. Yeah, he knows they're in here. Do it. Push past it. You won't. Finally decides to take that risk and push into A main. It works out nicely for Sprout as Favin's able to pick up another kill on the round. Again, Sprout really needed to make an adjustment because it's already 9-3. Even if this half ends 9-6, it's not exactly over. But that's a big if, based on the way that we've seen them play thus far. Mirbit in the back of Checkers. Hasn't really played this position all that frequently, and they did double molly it in a round previously, so they might anticipate that no one's here. That's exactly what happens. He just hangs back and allows them to push in. It'll be Tessic and Patty Tech in a 2-on-5. Patty Tech is able to get one, but obviously with just 3 HP, it's an easy trade for the CZ, and the combo of the CZ and the AUG on site. Able to find 2 more kills. 9-4. Sprout finally put themselves back on the board. It's been quite a while since we've seen them do that. Again, a boost coming out as Dennis goes up over top of the smoke inside Z. Does have a little bit of vision, slightly obscured by the Z smoke. There's a kill coming in from Navrat over on the B site. That's Searson going down, but again, Mirbit's able to sneak around inside Checkers. The problem is that he only anticipates one player, tries to turn back. Favin somehow sneaks his way in, gets a kill, and actually finds himself onto the site. Now, the player on site with him is also blind, but it doesn't matter. Izako Boars go for a fast play towards the B site, something we haven't seen them do. They change the pace, and it completely catches Sprout off guard. The money, not exactly perfect for the final round. There's going to be maybe 2 FAMAS in play, maybe even 3. Searson still hasn't made up his mind. He's going to buy a Scout. So it's double FAMAS, Scout AUG, and the CZ. They do have 2 kits at least, and a small amount of utility. No Molotovs / incendiaries, but they do have some smokes, some nades, and some flashes. actually really like that play from Izako Boars. They've played this game so slow and so methodical that there was no way they saw that one coming. Now, they also don't see this one coming. Somehow Mir is able to sneak into positions without being spotted. He's done it in the last several rounds. Unfortunately, in every one of those rounds, well, except for one, he's been one and done traded. Favin goes out in front, and he eats a little bit of flashbang, comes out in front of a smoke, completely blind, dead to rights. There's nothing he can do. Molly's going to go down on Heaven. That's going to prevent Dennis from being able to do anything from that position. He might as well just change spots. There's a Molly down on Tree Room as well. A flashbang to follow, and now a smoke. Good utility use from Izako Boars makes this one nearly impossible for the German to get back in. Maddie is playing backside. It's exit angle on Heaven. Doesn't matter, as his teammate was there as well with the AWP. Patty Tech gets the last one on the round. 11-4. Another strong first half. The first game we watched tonight was over on Overpass, and it was a 12-3 there, where it was AGO who was able to pick up their first win of the season after going 0-3. They do drop Love down to 0-1. That was their first game of the season. It's looking like Izako Boars is going to really surprise people here, coming up with that big win to potentially start their season out, unless Sprout can turn things around here on their T side. Now, in the pistol, we've got Dennis, who's going to find the first kill as Sprout puts feelers out towards mid, but it's really a push towards the B site. There's one man playing on B site. That'll be Nax, who hits the first shot, but he's gunned down almost immediately, and his follow-up teammate dead as well. It's all up to Patty Tech coming in through Heaven, and oh, man. Sprout decimate Izako Boars in the pistol. But again, Sprout won the pistol in the first half. I mean, if it weren't for the pistol, this could have been a 14-1. Now it's the CT side on just pistols, trying to make it work. The only player with even a little bit of extra cash is going to be Nex. Found that kill early on. 2K and 2050 on the rest. They do have a heavy stack towards A. One playing truck, one up on the catwalk, one on default, and one quad. And unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be a B play. They've walked their way into B, and they're realizing quickly that that's what's going to happen. And, you know, Navrot from backside, not really much he can do about this one. Misses that initial reaction shot as he sneaks across. The bomb will be planted momentarily, and that's all she wrote. The UMP over on A wants to make some extra money if he can. Might lose his gun, but I don't think he really is too concerned about that one. The only one left alive right now is going to be Maddie. 1, 2, 3. Do you think he wants the 1, 2, 3 in there, or do you think it was just Maddie was taken? So he's like, ha, I'll add 1, 2, 3. Like it's an old AOL Instant Messenger username. That's the second AOL reference of the night, by the way. Now, the AWP is picked up here by Izako Boars. And look at this. Nex is going to get himself an early kill as Mirbit just gets caught with a nade out. Strong start for the Polish side, who's, again, unable to pick up the pistol rounds in the first half, but still finished out the half 11-4. And now they're picking up rounds here as well, potentially. First buy that's come in already sees them down to almost no utility. Sprout waiting back. Finally sending out feelers. Speedy's made his way towards the vent hill. He heaves the smoke up. That'll cover off the ladder towards E-Box. Gives them the ability to get into Z if they wanted to backslide onto that B bomb site, but it doesn't look like anyone's actually going to go that far up. It is a heavier stack and play towards the A site right now with 3 players there. We've got Tsek over by Forklift. The op of Nex is there as well, and Petitech is now rotating in. The bomb is now moving towards the B site, and you've got Navrot here who's really struggling to stay alive. So does his teammate, Maddie. Now, one's already dropped in. Searson with the rare whiff, but it's a follow-up shot coming in from Dennis to try and anchor things down. They do get the bomb planted. This is a difficult retake. Nex does not have armor, and Pattytech does not have a kit or any utility, so they decide, you know what, guys? It's time to just, lick our wounds, fall off, fight for another day. And that's exactly what's going to happen as Sprout now picks up that first buy round, and they're starting to build up a little bit of steam. Just a little. Both players will survive as they sneak over to the A site, keep their guns in play. Now, realistically, they buy armor, back up that op. He's going to drop him from Moss. They could drop another rifle. And Tsek will have to be on his own. So that's what's going to happen. They are going to force up. They're going to juggle guns, and they're going to put the buy together as best as they possibly can. We'll see if that op is going to be influential. As he is the top fragger right now for Izako Boars. He's sitting at 16 kills, and yeah, there you go. Searson goes up to the top rope, and he's immediately taken down. Now, meanwhile, over on the B site, Navrad's been dropped down to 44. He's got to be careful as he was taking that damage through the smoke. Dennis looked like he wanted to go over the boxes, but decides to fall back instead. Speedy, meanwhile, with an op of his own over in A main as the smoke fades. Pattytech is taken down. Molly goes in, and Speedy with another nice shot on the leaping target of Nex. That's the op down, and the A site potentially lost here. Izako Boars not exactly looking fantastic as Speedy is picking them apart with the AWP. Does he just stick in this Molly? No. Starts to. Decides to smoke it off. The flank finally comes through, and it's all up to Maddie. It's a 1-on-4. The only kill on the round came through by way of Nex with his AWP on the boosting player mid. Maddie is at least able to find one. If he goes for that AK, they're going to be holding it. 11-8. Sprout starting to climb back into the game. This was 11-4. The money is in a weird spot right now for the CT side, and I would recommend them save maybe pistol armor. The way the loss bonus is building, they're going to have full loss bonus in the next round. Eagle. Position close. Can't really spot him through the flames. Struggles to get a line of sight. Tsek on site. He's got himself a CZ-75. There's 2 targets directly on the other side of the smoke. It'll be Dennis. And his cohort, he hears the reload, goes for a peek. It does work out on the first, but not on the second. Favin's able to trade quickly. Favin now just guarding that AK. You know they want it, and they're going to try and pick it up. Maddie actually gets in, and that's an AK upgrade for him and a teammate. But the bomb's going to be heading towards B. So a good adjustment from Sprout. Reading that, this heavy presence towards the A site means a likely stack. And they're able to wander right into B and get that bomb planted. And it should be a save, honestly, because there's no way they're going to get back into this bomb site. The only player who should really make any pressure towards anything should be Maddie, but it looks like they're just going to hold angles and hope that someone from Sprout gets greedy or wants to take those guns away. Because again, Izako Boars are going to be buying in the next round regardless. Doesn't look like anyone's going to go hunting. Sprout content to allow that money to continue just climbing. Just keep increasing. Bomb detonates. And it'll be the round for Sprout as a pause comes in. Not entirely surprised by that one, based on the play we've seen thus far. Izako Boars really needs to figure out how they can prevent this from spiraling even worse than it already has. I mean, they were up 11-4. Now they're up only 11-9. And some of those rounds haven't even been particularly close. You kind of fear with the way that they've been playing that Sprout could actually bring this one back and close it out. Maybe even 16-11. Just complete run on their T side. Looking night and day different on their T side compared to their CT side. Pause comes undone, and Izako Boars has spoken about what they needed to speak about. Let's see if the timeout is enough. We saw Sprout pick up a few rounds in that first half off the back of a timeout. Fatty Tech playing on the opposite side of the wall from Searson. He's over towards NBK. Molly goes down in the door. That will flush one player back. As it looks like Sprout wants to head towards this A site. Molly towards Forklift. That will flatten out the push to a certain degree. They'll have to run right through this. There's the flashbang in. Speedy's able to get the first, and he finds himself the second as well. Even though it looked like Izako Boars had the setup for it, it doesn't work out well at all. Speedy's super low on HP. He'll go ahead and plant the bomb, but again, Izako Boars decides to save. Only one kill on the round. And it was Patitek with that position towards MBK. Outside of that, they struggle, and that A site just gets decimated quickly. It's a strong execute coming out from Sprout. And now you'll see Sprout putting out feelers. They know these guys are low, and they know, or they are low on money, I should say. They know they're hiding somewhere, so it's all about sniffing out those positions. They can afford to lose these two AKs. They cannot afford to lose this op. And that is a whiff you really hate to see. They needed that shot so badly. Navrat, will he get one? Will he get traded? No, he can't get there in time. The position, the spacing, not good enough. Sprout down just one round, and all they've got coming into this one was that AK. Now, with the money, he's able to drop an M4 and a FAMAS, and that'll actually feed the buy nicely. That's when you can see just how important it was to take that one gun away. They take that one gun away, and that really changes the dynamic of the round. Quick kill coming out, though, for Speedy as Navrat's caught off guard. Next, looked like that shot was good to me, but he misses, just pulling it slightly off. Now he's staring down the smoke. The smoke's going to start to fade. He wants to hold that crack. Searson will jump across. They know that he's here now, and he has to fall off. He knows he can't overextend this play. T-Sec pushed up in mid, just underneath the boost. Molly's going to go in towards trash. Flashbang's coming out. He's only slightly blinded. Do they clear him? Only one player comes through. Searson's able to hit the shot on the AWP. So it's a 1-for-1 trade. Keswick tries to sneak into the smoke. They should have heard the impacts in that. Molly actually does a little bit as well. Meanwhile, there's still one lurking around over towards B. They've got that op in position over towards B. But it looks like the A site's going to be taxed first. The bomb now working its way in through A main. It's all about timing for this mid push. T-Sec's trying to catch them off guard, but I don't imagine that Speedy's going to let him do that. Speedy's going to continue holding the flank, knowing that he could be here. Meanwhile, over on B, Mirbit still sitting inside Sunroom. And he'll be able to spot next in about 3 seconds. It's an easy kill. The final man, T-Sec, all the way back in T-Spawn. It was likely going to be a link-up as they were going to meet, due to the fact that, again, the money is not good. If they were able to save those guns, it still doesn't really help them. So this is going to be a tie game here. Sprout has brought it all the way back from an 11-4 by winning 7 straight rounds unanswered by Izako Boars. Now, at least for their sake, they are able to find a kill at the end of the round. There's a discussion being had here, and I think it's making sense to juggle guns yet again. Just this saving of one gun has kept them in a position where they can drop guns and get a buy-in. And it's really not the worst buy you'll ever see. I mean, 4 M4s and 1 FAMAS, a couple of incendiaries and smokes. And look at this play. They want to go fast towards B. Is Mur ready for it? Mirabit all the way back in spawn, does catch the first one. He knows there's one more here, so he can call out to his team, hey, there's like free control somewhere else. Let's take it. So they're taking control of mid right now, and they've already got 2 players out. Moving their way up towards the white box. A pop flash should come in a moment here. Speedy does have the flash to flash in Favin, but still just holding back. After getting that opening kill, they know they've got Izako Boars kind of on a weird spot where they're going to now have to pivot. Oh, I like this play, though. Putting Nex up into the vents. It just feels like it's a second too late. Pressure's already been applied towards mid. Dennis might be able to sneak past Maddie as well, so Maddie goes back towards backside Z. Now Mirabit's able to get the barbecue kill onto Patty Tech. Let's see if he figures out that this other guy could be in the vents. Doesn't even matter. On the opposite side of the map, they lost their anchor towards the A site. Maddie up on Heaven, able to get 1, but this is the realization like, oh, hey, they're going B. Remember, we said it could be a 16-11. Based on the way that Sprout was playing on their T side, compared to the way that Izako Boars was playing their CT side, we could see this spiraling, and it indeed has. Nex is the only one left alive. He's stuck in T-spawn with an M4, and you know Sprout. Look at the money build-up. Dennis on 10K, 8650 for Speedy. Mirabit, who's dead, is on 9050, 7500 for Pavin. The low man on the totem pole is Searson. He's on 5300. That's some serious cheddar. And there's the kill. So no gun saved by Izako Boars. The first time in a while. Feels like it's been maybe three or four several rounds in a row where they've had one player saving, and that does force them onto just pistols here to allow their money to actually build up enough to buy. Just saving with that 1 or 2 players in the last couple of rounds has put them in a position where they can gun juggle, drop a rifle or 2, and actually put a buy to it. Now that's going to sting a bit. As the smoke pops, Maddie watches his corpse just land on the pavement. A quick kill comes out from the AWP. Meanwhile, over on B, they're pushing up with a deagle, but Searson's there to catch Navrot before he can make it into Sunroom. There's only one player on A. It'll be Patty Tech, who's playing back by Forklift with the deagle. Oh, nice shot. Started to change position, catches Dennis through the edge of the box. And this is somewhat winnable. These guys have armor, but it's a 1-on-2 on one side and a 1-on-1 on the other. And Nex actually goes the right way. Instead of going through useless room, he starts to flank all the way through T-spawn, which could prove to be much more beneficial, and he's able to get himself an AK. The bomb, though, heading back towards A. Patty Tech hiding in the closet towards the forklift. Sees the smoke come out. He knows exactly what's coming his way. And it looks like he wants to play with the smoke a little bit. It's probably a wise decision given that he's only here with the deagle. So he's trying to use the smoke to give him some cover and wait for his teammate to get into position to help him out. The bomb is going to be planted momentarily. And all he's got is this deagle to work with. It's all about whether or not he spots this player fork, and he does. Nice shot onto the AWP of Searson. That'll make things a little bit easier as the AWP is now getting into, or the AK, excuse me, is getting into position coming in through A main. There's the deagle shot missed. These shots are so incredibly close. Finally tags Speedy, but they catch him on the reload. And now Nex, who's out A main with that AK. These guys need to just be careful that they don't peek the same thing at the same time. Well played by Favin. Just get around the other side of the box. Continue to play Ring Around the Rosie with them. force them into this game of dance. And unfortunately for Izako Boars, despite finding all the eliminations, it's not a round they're going to take. That said, this was a pistol armor round that they came in with. So to walk away with an AK and the amount of money they've got, that's somewhat of a win, but not when you've got Dennis on 16K and Favin on 15K. Nice shot from Nex onto Mirbit, who is playing towards the summer, but here comes that fast push towards A, and that op is going to get spotted in just a moment. They know he's here. They know he's here. Yeah, there you go. I was going to say they had to know he's here. Already into the site, Sprout doing exactly what Izako Boars did to them in that first half. When things started to slow down a bit, just move the pace up. Now they lose the bomb as Tisik has a little bit of an angle, and a double molly into the site is actually going to delay the plant even longer. It also guarantees a 3-on-3. It flushed Dennis out of position, who couldn't stand default because the molly was burning just at his ankles. Finally, the bomb will be planted, and there's the nade. Good utility discipline right now from Izako Boars, but Searson overextends the peak. That'll put all the pressure onto Speedy. Now, Speedy did find the first kill. And he's got himself a flashbang. He's just going to peek in front of it. I like the play. And he's got the clutch. Speedy with a 3K right at the end. It was looking so promising from Izako Boars. Great utility use on the retake. But he just puts himself into a corner, and nobody puts Baby in a corner. 14-11. Izako Boars definitely not happy with the way that this one's been going. From an 11-4 to a 14-11. 10 straight rounds for Sprout. Again, Izako Boars go down to pistols. And again, Searson just gets that spawn in mid, beats the smoke, takes down the player rushing with a pistol. Nex is going to play up in front of this smoke. He's going to get spotted, and it should be an easy quick kill, and it is. They find one more as he pushes in. Navrat trying to do what he can with that AK. Only finds one kill before being dropped. 15-11. From an 11-4. I mean, this is brutal. You gotta, tip your hat to Izako Boars for that first half, but their second half has left a lot to be desired. And you also got to say, Sprout, great resilience to bounce back from this game. An 11-4 first half where rounds were, few and far between. Hard to pick up as well. That was an 11-4 with both, or an 11-4 with the pistol rounds. So they won the pistol and the anti-eco. And then it was pretty much all these Izako Boars from that point on. Now, that said, they do lose a body early. And they have boosted one up. If at first you don't succeed. Shroud spot again. Oh, does he know? Does he know? He didn't hear him. He should have heard that step just beneath him. They're actually going to boost up themselves. Oh my god. That's awkward. That's a little uncomfortable. Mirbit and Dennis are all that remains. Now, Mirbit's gotten an entry over on the A site. He's got a flashbang, but he's got to be careful. Yeah, exactly. He peeks wide, not anticipating someone being there. The door's been shut, figuratively and literally, as Dennis is now left alone. Again, Sprout's got so much money they can buy for the foreseeable future. So there is no reason for him to not try and take players out with him. Sprout's got Izako Boars up against the ropes. I was actually surprised not to see another fast B play. Just sort of, abandon this slow burn. Just get in there quick. It's not like it's impossible for Izako Boars to tie this one up and force it into overtime. That said, it does seem unlikely simply because of how well Sprout's been playing. That is the first round Izako Boars has put on the board in their CT side. So that is definitely not what you were hoping for if you're an Izako Boars fan now. They do boost up over the smoke. And yeah, once that one shot comes out, that one bullet from on high, they follow the tracer back and they realize the boost is through. So they actually collapse the boost and send those players back towards B. Oh, this could actually work out so nicely. Look at the lineup coming through the vents, but somehow he's unable to connect. That means the push is going to be coming through towards B potentially, but slowed down at the moment by a Molotov. They're going to counter boost and go back out through the vents. Favin goes up first. Dennis able to find one more. The Molly's going to go in towards site. He's going to try and glue these guys on B site for as long as he possibly can. Nex is still over on quad box by himself with an op. Somehow Speedy just gets turned around. Now they need to escalate the plan because now they realize, okay, this is going A 100%. There's no way they're going towards B. And Favin's got into the perfect position. He's going to have the flank play. It all comes down to timing whether or not he gets shot from the player backside tree. And there you go. That's the kill they needed. That puts Nex in a really uncomfortable position. He's got to keep his head on a swivel. Favin's able to get up past the M4 shot, but Nex is still in position back here on quad. Favin will find the kill. And now they're thinking, hey, we could actually go towards B. Just kidding. Favin finds the last kill of the round. 16-12. An impressive comeback from Sprout after being down 11-4. They turn it around to make it 15-11. That's just unbelievable. 11 straight rounds, only surrendering one, finding their final 12th round. That is quite a feat for Sprout, and that will give them their first win on the season. Izako Boars dropped to 0-1, but the season is long, and there's plenty of matches to come. But that is going to be it for us tonight, if I am not mistaken. Only 2 matches on the docket, as the miner is still kind of chipping away at some of our schedule. We will be live again later on tonight with our North American coverage for the Mountain Dew League. We hope to see you then.